Wow, now you sound like a robot.
Well, maybe it'll be fixed in a second. Hopefully.
Yeah, there you go. You sound better now.
Okay, I think yeah. I should turn off my fan. All right, let me get behind the dealer here and show the hands, show the dealing tiles. There we go. Uh, so Talachum here has a pretty good hand for. Looks like that's about already Ishan 10, isn't it? Or he's missing a pair. Oh, he has
Yeah,
the 8-8.
with the AA as sort of the pinfu weight pair, I guess it would be two Shanton.
Mm-hmm. But it's a really nice two away. Groove's hand also looks pretty nice. All those Mon tiles. Yeah, I think is he Ishan 10? He's got 3, 4, 5, 5, 5, 7. I think he's also two away, but also a very nice two away. So these two are competing here, I think.
Yeah, well,
Um,
and Malachum, they both just got to Ishanten the exact same turn.
yeah, this is a race. Talachum obviously has the advantage because he's dealer. And if he reaches, then no one is going to want to fight that.
But Groove having the two, Groove has two Dura and is almost certainly going to end up with Tanyao. So
Oh yeah, that's pretty big. He could even get a Hanemon with that. Um, so yeah, we'll see. Talachum could end up getting destroyed here if he gets unlucky.
and elected to throw away the 6 to keep the South as a safe tile instead of taking the perfect one away. Typically, as dealer,
Hmm.
I will tend to take the perfect one away there,
Hmm.
um, rather than keep the South as a safe tile. Although, as it turns
Yeah.
out, kind of needs the South tile right now because Groove is ready
Oh yeah. Oh
and is
no.
staying. Uh-oh,
Oh
this
yeah.
is it. That's a
And
deal in for
yeah.
sure.
And Groove didn't Richie there.
Anyao,
I feel like
Kara-san,
I might have Richie there. I guess you only get
manga.
one. It's a chance for a Hanemon if you Richie, but I guess it's kind of
If
borderline.
if you get, yeah, it's a Hanuman if you get an Ura or if you sumo, I
Yeah,
suppose.
it may have been. He may have felt it was a little bit too late to reach you there, even with a good weight.
And that's something that when I was in Silver Room,
Hmm.
I remember I was just like
Pong.
super against ever calling Ricci in the third row or
Hmm.
even close to
Whoops.
it. Like I never would ever when I was in Silver Room. But now I very free. Ooh, look at stats. But now I very frequently,
Pong.
like if I have a good weight, I will toss the Ricci out there, even if there's only like 10 tiles left, and I feel like that's probably a bad habit. Groove
Yeah.
already tempai again.
He's getting a feeling that Groove has a huge advantage in this match. It's still early. It's very early. Anything can happen. But having an
It
early lead
does,
like this,
and especially when you have an early dealership, it's
yeah.
really hard to push that. I wonder if Talchum will throw the 7 mon here. It
Yeah.
doesn't fit into their hand.
Yeah. But he threw a worse tile. The 7 is better than the 2 efficiency wise, so
Yes.
he might be, he may have just been saved by this Ricci because.
And now Bax is called Ricci with a Chatoy.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Ipatsumo. Was that Ipatsu?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it. Tatsuma, and there was already a South discarded. Like that's such BS.
And one thing to note here, at the
There
meta
were
level,
only there were only two Souths left.
yeah, sometime, yeah, Yeah, I guess it's a fairly good thing. Even though there's only two south left, I think that's a fairly good weight to have. Even with Ricci, it may come out.
Yeah, I think I do think. I mean, the Ricci might eat it. Oh shit! My desk just made a very unpleasant sound. Just be tilted by the Apatsumo.
Yeah, just chill out. It'll be okay. Um, so yeah, I wanted to make the comment that I'm really bad about this. Need to go behind the dealer. Um, I want to make the comment from the perspective of Talachum or Boone. I don't know how you pronounce that name. It's is it like Boone maybe? But yeah, it's a bit hard to pronounce. But yeah, he's coming into this being very far behind in the tournament. So he needs some big wins here. And he's probably feeling like if he gets fourth place or if he gets third place, then he can't get into semifinals. So he needs like two really big wins, probably, and not a loss. Um,
Yeah, that is a very good point. And Groove is not in quite as dire of a situation with regards to the tournament, but
right.
cannot afford a fourth
Yeah, he needs. Yeah,
and needs at least one good win.
yeah. I think in order to get into the semis, they need to at least be at like zero, probably somewhere around there, or ideally like at plus positive 10 or something. So Groove needs to get like 50 points in order to be comfortable. Uh,
Yeah,
Boone or Talachum needs to get like 100 points to feel like he's gotten into the semis. And if he gets like 80 or so, maybe he has
and
a chance.
that's a lot of points to have to get,
Yeah, but it's not impossible by any means.
it is not,
He could get,
especially if that hand over there.
and theoretically, he could get that in like one game, couldn't he? Or get most of the way there in one game. If he just had,
In one very wild game.
yeah, if he got like 100,000 points, say, it's possible.
And Groove now is, I think, just fully folding. Was Ishanten for Chitoy with that draw,
Mm.
but elected to toss the North, which is fairly safe.
Yeah, he probably is not feeling good about going into Tempai with Chitoy and Ricci. Like, and if he doesn't do that, then like winning a two-han hand, who cares? Well, I mean, it kind of makes a. I mean, if it was South three, maybe he would care a lot more. But and he has that third eight there.
Boone just chose not to take the Tempai.
Oh,
Could have been Tempai discarding a six-mon,
mm,
which is Nakasuji to backs right now. So Nakasuji being, um, for I guess I don't even know
mm,
if anyone's watching because I have this in full screen. But Nakasuji is when you have the tile three below and three above. So
right.
since the three mon and the nine mon are both
Mm,
in backs as discards,
mm.
that makes the six Nakasuji.
Yeah, and I think usually I hear people say Suji. I don't know. Maybe it's particular to a smaller group of people, but I would think of Suji as being the same as Nakasuchi. Like that's the sort of the default meaning of it. Do you think that's correct?
So so uh so Suji refers to any pair of tiles that are three away from each other,
Right.
like the six of bamboo and
Mm.
the nine of bamboo are Suji to each other.
Mm.
Nakasuji is specifically for the middle tiles
Mm.
when both of their Suji tiles on the side have been discarded.
Right. Then you have the other Suji, or maybe there's a lot more than just the two, but also like the four here, you would have the four pin that was just discarded. You also have like the five and the eight, which is another kind.
That is Ura Suji.
Research, yeah. So that's like maybe not this early, but if it was later in the game, those would be more dangerous because you'd think maybe the four was discarded from like a 4, 6, 7 or something like that. Which
Right,
would
absolutely.
so, but at this point, it's unlikely that if you had a 4, 6, 7 that you would discard it like the third discard. So um, it's less concerning in this situation. Um, But right, so what's going on with people's hands? I'm not really looking at their. It looks like Bax has a pretty good hand here. Um,
Especially with the pair of Easts.
yeah, he can. If those drop, and he can't tell, but we can that they are likely to drop, given that they're not in anyone's hand. So yeah, this is
And
looking
one has
very good.
already been discarded
Oh, one has already been discarded. Where is? Oh, it's over here. I missed that.
by by Impact.
So the concern here, we have the same concern that Bax has, is that the final East might be up here. In which case he won't get it. Um, but he is in. Let's see here. He's 2 away right now, isn't he?
Yes.
And he probably wants to keep this Dora. Other people have hands too. We probably shouldn't just be looking at Bax's hand here, because Gru's hand is also looking very good. Um,
Yeah.
I think he's an Ishan 10 over
Just
there.
got rid of that sound. One, two. Yes. A very wide Ishanten as well.
Mm. So, and he does have some these nines here, unfortunately, that are keeping it from being a simples pinfu. And let's see, he doesn't have any. He could draw a one pin, which would be very nice. There's
Yeah,
still some.
put him in 10 pi for pure straight.
Yeah. Oh yes, yes, yes. I didn't even realize that would be the Itsu or the full straight, waiting on the four ping. But
And
he
Ancraft here has made two calls, but is still Ishanten, is not 10 pi.
right, and he can't discard that Dora. Maybe he will. Maybe he'll make a kind of a maniac play and discard the Dora, but it seems very unwise to do so. Oh, and he's got two of them. So Groove is probably hoping to either draw the Dora or get the four, because he probably is not expecting anyone to drop the one ping here, or maybe
Yeah.
just get to exhaustive, because he's fine
But
with.
it is a good weight with only
Hmm. Yeah.
man,
It looks worse to us than it does.
you cut out there for a second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So I did not hear I have not heard you for like the past 15 seconds if you've said anything groundbreaking.
I've probably not. I was just gonna say that to us, we have this ironic, with the dramatic irony that we know that this 1/4 weight is actually not that good, because everyone has ones and fours in their hands. But from Groove's perspective, the 1/4 weight was very good. Oh,
And Bax has been dealt another good hand here, a quick one with potential for Sanshoku and that sort of nonsense, according to what sort of peens he draws.
oh yeah, there's a nice opportunity for Sanshoku. Like that's a really nice thing to keeping the closed Sanshoku in mind. I think is a very good thing to do, but not to actually put any effort into getting it. Just like sort of having it in the back of your mind all the time.
Right? You don't necessarily want to sacrifice too much efficiency for an extra one or two Han there, but
Yeah.
if you have a couple different choices of things to throw away,
Mhm.
you might as well keep it live as long as you can.
Right. And it's worth a lot more closed than it is open. Like even it's only one Han, but being able to Richi and all of and have it and sumo and all of that, you can take a closed Sanshoku and turn that into a mangan or something.
Oh, absolutely. And Groove sumoed on the Shanpong weight.
Oh yeah, he just wants to move this game along, so he's fine with basically winning any hand. I feel like he's only in second place. Um, Kenny still has a bit of a lead, but he is probably hoping to get some ura there or something.
And also keeping, I mean, the closer you are the closer you are to first place, the easier it is to be able to push and get what you need later on. It's a lot easier to create a two-han hand than it is to create a mangan.
Yeah, so yeah, it's just a natural advantage that Groove and Kenny have here, and yeah, things are not looking too good for Talachum. He really needs to come out with something, and it's his dealership. It should be behind him. And this hand is actually looking all right.
And Talachum has been trying, just has not.
Got this nice Dora here. This could. It's unlikely that this can become simples. It would be nice to. It would be nice to get that Richie simples Pimfu. I always feel like that's kind of the easiest way to build a really high value hand is to get Richie simples Pimfu with a Dora or two, and maybe get Ipatsu Sumo
on the fast track, as it were. But having the only complete shape involving a 1 right now, and you can't even shift this, because if you draw a 4, you can't use it to shift the 1, 2, 3, because the 4 actually slots into another one of his shapes.
Right. And I guess there's some possibility of Sanshoku here. Maybe. It's a little bit like a 4, 5, 6 could happen. If he slides that 3, 4, 5 over into a 4, 5, 6. So if he draws a couple of good tiles, possibly could get this Sanshoku.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that 4 pin really helped there.
Yeah. And Groove is getting some very fast hands in this game. I think Groove has the advantage in this here because this hand here still has a ways to go. And also Kenny has a nice looking hand over there. That 2-2-3-3 is kind of garbage, but aside from that, if he draws a 1 or a 4, he'll be in good shape. But if he doesn't, he may be sunk with having 3 pairs. Not really much you can do with that.
Groove and Bax have both got to be hurting with everything Groove just drew. Groove just drew 3 6-0 kind of in a sequence here. Which if you're Bax, like you just have to be watching those 6-0 disappear,
right?
with so much anxiety that because now it's looking like that 4-5 shape is never going to complete.
Yeah. Oh, that was a nice draw, but it's too late. Like he can clutch onto his dealership here if he can, but he's still not in Tempai. Oh.
Nope.
So I think right now Talachum is thinking, I really like the only chance I have is to make use of this dealership that I've got, because he still got until South 4 to make some points, but this is the real opportunity right now is to make use of this dealership.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But I doubt that he's thinking that there's any chance of winning. He could, but he's in Tempai. It's a chance. And this is it. This is the under the river.
Oh.
If he puts it down.
Is the 6 going to come out?
Oh my god, Bax, under the river.
You
Amazing. That's great. It's only 3 Han, but he's really happy about this. He doesn't just get to keep his dealership, he gets some bonus points. And is in striking distance of second place here. So this is the comeback, right?
Yeah, that was huge. Absolutely. This is where the comeback happens.
Yep. That wasn't a big deal in terms of points, but in terms of like the context of the game. Now Talichum is barely in fourth, and a Mungan on either first or second puts is there a way? So I guess he'd have to hit Groove with a Mangang in order to steal second.
In Well, so as
Or
dealer, the Mongon's 12k.
oh, you're
So
right. You're right.
any
You're right.
Mongon with the Hanba
Hmm.
will get Talachum to first.
Yes, yes, yes. That's correct. Yeah. So yeah, even a three Han hand would be very nice here. Um, Even with a three Han hand hitting Groove could get second place.
And is Ishanten, as a matter of fact,
Oh yeah, yeah,
already.
yeah. 5, 6, 7, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2. Yeah, this Penchant is not great, but it's early. Now a three here. Yeah. Sanshoku? Probably not. Um, yeah, what's he gonna do with this three? Drop the four.
Yeah, this is an interesting decision to have here.
Mhm. Yeah, this 1 2 is really not very good. This Penchant is not very good, but it adds value to the hand. If if Talichum just happens to draw the three, so or the one. But what do the other hands look like?
Although the other hands, that two helps out Groove a little bit. I guess can now toss the four. Yep. And has some complex shapes, but nothing complete right now. So it's still
Oh,
three Shanten, which isn't really great at this point in the hand. That helps a lot.
yeah,
Is now two Shanten.
yeah, and having these
And
two,
then that
yeah, this could be a big hand for. Oh, what's happening here? Is he gonna Ricci? Yep, he's Ricci waiting on the three. So, kind of desperate. I feel like. Um,
since two of the three so have already been tossed out by backs, especially.
yeah, but maybe I don't know. He's discarded the six already, so people may feel that three is safe. So this is a Suji trap. Um,
Especially in Ancraft's hand right now. Ancraft has the 3 4 5 6. So if other shapes develop for Ancraft, that three or that six could both come out. All right, so tossed the six instead of the three, took the Genbutsu tile, of course,
oh boy.
and
So
then Bax has the other three. So,
conceivably, backs could fold with the three. I doubt it. It could happen because it's
but
Nakasuji for
and
both of them.
so the three so would not be Nakasuji. Would just be straight up Suji.
Um, isn't since the six is discarded, doesn't that make it Nakasuji? I'm confused about the definition of this.
So Nakasuji is the other way around.
Hmm.
It's when the 3 and the 9 are discarded, making the 6 safer.
Oh, okay, but yeah, I was just thinking Nakasuji is when it's is when it's Suji safe. I guess I'm not familiar with this terminology. I was thinking it was either way, but regardless, it's not that important. Oh, let me move over here. I guess we should get all this terminology straight. Okay, let's. This hand has a lot of Penchan stuff in it. Um,
Yeah, a lot of very low tiles, which again gives you a sort of feeling that that Sanshoku might pop up.
yeah, if he draws the
And
one
then
or the
Bax over
two,
there.
hmm and I could see he may, if he gets the opportunity, might call into Sanshoku just to speed up the hand. Um, that's possible. But it is for me.
Yeah, that's
Sorry.
yeah, go for it. I think you were about to say what I was going to say, so go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say like I would for calling into Sanshoku, basically, I wouldn't want to call unless I had two of the three, or like I was calling the second one, and the third one would be waiting on a tile. Maybe at that point I would start to consider calling it, but until then, it seems like a kind of a pipe dream that you might end up with Sanshoku.
Yeah, I treat it the same way, and I really want to do that either very early in the hand where I'm tempai much quicker than people expect, or very late in the hand where I just need any tempai.
Right.
I don't really like doing it in the middle when everyone else's hands are coming together.
Yeah, and here it. I think that Sanshoku is actually fairly. It's well, it's not likely, but it's very possible if he draws the two so, he could end up with a weight that includes Sanshoku. Well, with this two, two, three, four, I don't know. It's the end of the second row. Maybe this hand just won't complete. Is anyone else gonna complete a hand? Nah, I don't know. Maybe Telechum will. Uh, five, six. No, I think that. Uh, well, there's still tiles to draw. People are like two away. They could draw the two correct tiles, but I think this may just go to exhaustive.
It's it's always interesting. Like I feel like every hand I play, I'm always frightened for the entire time the hand is going on, that everyone is like right at 10 pi. But then you see these hands where it seems like just no one can get there no matter what.
Although Groove got into it when I wasn't looking. He drew the correct tiles. Um, and is just in Dama Pinfu Dora Dama Dora. You know what I'm saying? Pinfu Dora, and he's in Dama.
Yes. And and I feel like this is kind of this is something that Groove, I think, specifically spent a lot of time developing, is this sense of when it is good to go for a Dama hand here.
Yeah, and he fell out. He now has a hand that can't win off a Roan. He just isn't care. He's completely just wanting to be in Tempai at the end of the round, going for exhaustive. He dropped that three considered safe against
Tenpai.
well safe against Talichum, and it is safe against backs there.
Yeah, and I like that play.
Mm,
Groove, obviously to us, Groove was not in any danger
mm,
because no one else was Tempai. But
mm.
I mean, when you don't expect your tiles to come out,
Yeah,
being able to maintain a Tempai while protecting yourself is still pretty handy.
yeah. We saw an Under the River this game, but I feel like that's extremely rare. To get the tiles you need in the last tiles if it doesn't seem like people are pushing. Um, I would kind of give up on winning at that point if it's just the last few tiles.
Under the River is not something I think about until it happens,
Yeah,
typically.
yeah. Um, I think Under the River is not like incredibly unlikely as it seems because the closer you get to the end of the game, the fewer tiles there are to come out. So it's going to get more and more likely that the tile will be the dealing tile, but it's very unlikely to happen, and only if people are pushing, because otherwise they'll just put down safe tiles.
Oh
Um,
yeah, absolutely.
and here we got this Nakabukure, the bad kind, and he just gets rid of it immediately. Got this keeping this Diankan shape here, and this 7/7 is also not that great. Um, Oh, but look at these. Kind of like not paying attention to the hands, but Group's hand here is very good with these two Dora. Uh, and in he's I believe he's two away. Oh, but then Talachim was already ready to reach you over here. And what does he have? He's just got Pimfu, right?
Yep, does but a very wide Pimpu waiting on 369.
Oh yeah, he's got the Samen chant 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Um, but it can't be as simple as because he's got this one over here. So this, and if he doesn't get,
And actually, all the nines are gone.
oh really? Oh yeah, yeah. So it's only a two-sided weight now, basically. Uh, if he so I guess he's hoping to get some Ura or something. I doesn't really have much choice here, but to try and win on this hand. But he really needs more points than that. If he doesn't get, even if he gets like sumo is not that good for pinfu if it's a low value pinfu hand. So what he needs is some Ura or an Ipatsu that's already passed.
Yeah, desperately.
Uh,
And Kraft's hand is very, very nice over there, actually.
oh yeah, yeah. The both Groove and Ancraft. Oh, what's he do? He's got It looks like he's going for 7 pairs. Is he in? He's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So okay, he's waiting on the seven. So, but he can't put down that seven. So
Noted.
we're already to the end here. All right, let's move over to backs here. Almost at the end of this game. Um, and yeah, we've got 2 more rounds for a turnaround to come here. The scores are not that far apart. Um, Talachem could hit Kenny with a Hanuman and steal first place. So you never know what'll happen.
Oh, absolutely. And I think it's very easy to be used to the scores that we often see in ranked. So you look at that 40,100 that Ancraft has,
Hmm.
and it feels like that's a huge lead, but that's no different than a 35,000 point hand in ranked. So it's not that far at
Yeah,
all. Um, the biggest issue really being that he has the final dealership.
yeah, yeah. It's gonna be tough because yeah, basically there's gonna be a couple more games here. Bax has a chance here to make a comeback, but for Talachem it's looking a little grim. He's got to get a couple big hands or at least one big hand right away, or else he's gonna be kind of screwed here. And the hand he's got right now is not doing it. He could draw a Dora. He could get
Uh,
Sanshoku.
is kind of pushing towards Chanta, it seems.
Ah, oh right, yeah. He could get a Junshan there. Um, could get a Sanshoku Junshan and get a Haneman out of it. Just needs to draw like the three or four correct tiles, and he'll get that. It's not too hard.
Yep. Any time you have to say to yourself, "I only need 3 or 4 correct tiles,"
Yep.
that always depresses me in game.
Yeah. Just draw 2 green dragon and 2 red dragon, and you get Daisang. Oh, and
And
look at
then
this.
Bax is Ishan.
Oh, and he just did. He's getting this. He's got this Ipeko. Oh, he's got a Kanchan way here.
Objectively the best in the game.
Yes, this is the best. The best Yaku is Ipeko. Everyone knows it.
It has this is a really bad weight.
Yeah,
Any
yeah.
Kanchan waiting on the middle tile is very unlikely to complete. Although, yeah, and Groove over there is Tenpai with Toy Toy.
Oh, yeah. And I think what Bax is probably thinking here is that his situation is not great, and he wants to Richie to make everyone fold, or to increase the chances that he'll be able to keep the dealership. And he could draw 4 ping. Someone could just happen to put down 4 ping, for whatever reason. So yeah, it makes the decision here makes sense, but it is a pretty crappy weight. Because but he could hold off, and there's a lot of things he could like. He's got all of these montiles. There's a lot of ways these could develop, but already in the middle of the second row is kind of late. So yeah, there's not many options for what Bax can do here. He could just.
I think Talichum might deal in here.
Mhm.
That was a horrible draw for Talichum. Yep, evaded it nicely,
Mhm.
but is gonna be in danger with their final draw. Oh, geez, everything they draw is scary.
Yeah,
But avoided dealing in. That was wonderful.
yeah. I'm really feeling for Telichum this game because he has so much ground he needs to make up and just not getting what he needs, not getting any opportunities. But there's still a couple
But
hands left.
not dealing in there and making things worse was a real masterstroke.
Yeah,
I'm really quite impressed that they were able to avoid that.
yeah, yeah. Telichum has shown solid play. It's just sometimes like you just don't. The tiles are not kind to you.
Ooh, Ancraft has a concealed triplet of South, so has the double South
Oh,
completely hidden, which is always a nice situation to be in.
yeah, yeah. The tiles are being kind to some and cruel to others. Yeah, that triple of South came at just the right time to steal the dealership, um, and just head into an easy win, basically. And what is Groove has a pretty nice hand too. Uh, Still two away, or is it three away? No, it's two away. Two away, I believe.
3 away. It's 2 away because of the 2-3-4. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Talachum here could maybe is thinking it's still possible to draw an east. Um, oh, that 2-3-4 is a nice draw. Yeah, Talachum is holding on to this east a little bit, despite them being now he's obviously going to get rid of it now. There's no chance, but or hold on to it as a safe tile, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it looks like Talachum may
Yeah,
take
and
this
as we
hand.
know, since Ancraft had
Mm.
that triplet of Souths, was able to call into Tempai pretty early. Has
Yeah,
been waiting on the 4-7 Mon pile already.
yeah. Oh, and yeah, it looks like Talachum may end up with a weight on the 1-4. Uh, did he just enter into Tempai? I think he. I
Yes,
think.
if he discards the East.
Yep. So. Oh. So that was
Ah,
an that was an interesting choice by Talachum to not reach you there.
I think with Talchum's hand,
Mm.
I won. Well, the problem is it's hard to make a lot of one tile upgrades. There's a lot of things Talchum's hand could have become
Mm.
with adding 2 tiles to it, but there weren't a lot of one tile upgrades, which typically when I choose Tadama,
Mm.
will be because there's a one tile upgrade I want, or it's a
Mm.
cheap hand that I don't really expect to win, and I don't want to commit myself to
Mm.
not folding.
Yeah, I wonder if the thought may have been like not wanting to waste a Richie stick, and well, I don't know. He'd get it back anyway. This is in South Four. Maybe just not. I don't know. May have given up at this point, uh, or just not wanting to make the situation worse heading into South Four. Hmm.
Yeah, I think that's something that I don't think I think about enough. You're right. Putting a Ricci stick on the table um, would make his situation slightly worse because then even if Bax dealt into a couple of different one Han hands,
Hmm.
would still be in fourth.
Yeah, but I think that thinking of the way the tourney is scored, I would be really wanting to have an opportunity of winning off of
Oh,
a Richie, and maybe thinking there's a chance that I'll Ipatsumo here and get a Bangan or something. And if I don't do it, then what am I gonna do? Like, it's probably worth the chance. A small chance of getting a big payout as opposed to just nothing. That's probably the way that I
Yeah,
think about it.
I think you're absolutely right there. I mean, especially when you need points as
Mm.
kind of desperately as Talchum does, as Boone does.
Yes, yes, we should pronounce this correctly. Um, oh, and yeah, and he's just not getting these any good hands. Like this hand is it's
Sumo.
not bad, but and sumo. That hand
Sub.
ended so fast.
Yeah. And Groove sumoing on the 5-so when the white dragons were tied up in Boone's hand.
Yep. So there's the game. So Groove made some ground there, but unfortunately Kenny just took more just greedily hogging up all the points. So we didn't see some. I think we've got another match coming up in 2 minutes. We want to
Okay,
take a little break.
I'm gonna use the restroom
Hmm. Sure.
between these, so I will be back.
Okay. All right. Starting up here. Let's go behind the dealer. Put on the dealing tile. Show hands. Oh, and yeah, Talachum has a very nice hand here to start off with. Nakabukure there. And this 3-3-4 shape, 7-8-9. Believe we're in a nice Ishan 10 here, or two away. A very nice two away. And who else? What else is going on here? Kenny has a really terrible hand, and looks like he's going for a Kokshi. Bax has a pretty nice looking hand. I think that Talachum is probably going to be able to reach you here pretty quickly and just take a few points with this hand, unless he gets unlucky. But I'd wager that he has the advantage here. Let's see. Groove is going to be able to open if anyone puts down the east or the. So he may be able to get a faster hand, but this looks very nice here. What does he have? If he draws the The 3 or the 6, or the 1 or the 4 or the 5 here.
C.
Can drop either this 3 or this 3 and Ricci. Groove needs to call out of the east or the green dragon to get into or he just actually drew into a Champon weight on the east and the green. How far how what is this Kokushi looking like over here? I was kind of assuming that wouldn't complete, but how many does he's got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, he's pretty far from having Kokushi. And might not really be seriously considering that it'll complete. It is because oh, here we go. Drew the 3 can drop this 3 so and Ricci. Oh, this is this would be a terrible weight though, wouldn't it? No, it isn't. This is a Champon weight on the 3 ping and the 1 so. But he's taking that Champon weight, so this is a pretty bad Champon weight. But I mean the probably thinking that this 1 so may drop and Kenny could drop it. And I think that 6 it's in the 3rd row, so just probably thinking the chances of keeping the dealership are greater with the Ricci. Maybe not really expecting that the weight will come out and the Ricci stick will still be there in the following dealership turn. But really would have preferred a better weight. Oh, is Groove going to drop it? Oh, hold on a second. Was I wrong about... It's the 1-4... Hold on a second. Did I screw that up? It's 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 2, 3, 4.
The one is for.
Oh, okay. I was thinking I was going crazy there. Okay, so that, as expected, that Kokushi for Kenny didn't complete. 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9. Okay, so Kenny could call these green dragon, but they're probably not going to come out. Oh, but is assuming that they will.
Yeah, and this is not a play that I like to do at all.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of Atazuki weights, especially when you're so far away from Tenpai like this. There's currently no pair in the hand.
Mm-hmm.
But again, after that last hand, if we're thinking in terms of the tournament, Talchum at this point just needs to whop everybody in these last 2 games to have any shot. So,
yeah.
I mean, all desperate plays are kind of on the table, I think, for Boone.
Yeah, I wonder what's with this 6 so drop. I find that perplexing. I would think that it's for Sanshoku, but the call was on the 6, 7, 8. So if anything, should drop the 9 to go for Sanshoku, right?
Yeah, yep, I 100% agree, and I have nothing for you there. I have no clue what the reasoning is.
Yeah, but what else do we got going on here? Oh, look at Groove's hand. Got some Dora over there. This could be a big hand. With the 3, 4, 4, 5, 5. It's kind of awkward there, but definitely close to Tenpai.
It is in fact now Tenpai, waiting on the 3 or the 6.
Oh, really? 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. Oh, wait, I see. It's a little hard to like that 3, 4, 5, 4, 5 shape. Yeah, it's a little hard to see from the side.
Yeah, and he also got into Tenpai like in the middle of you talking about whether he was Tenpai or not.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. And went for a Dama there. That's an interesting Dama to take, because he could have Rishi there that early. I feel like that would have been a solid Rishi.
I would have Richi'd that as well. Upgrading a hand to 4Han is basically the best a Richi is ever going to give you. That's practically a 4,000 point increase.
So yeah, might be a little bit Groove may be feeling a little bit, I don't know, extra defensive or something. Not wanting to take any risks.
Or also could have been waiting on a 4-mon, which would have upgraded that hand to a Tanyao.
Mm-hmm.
You want to hop behind backs here?
Sure.
Although I do really like Boone's hand.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Yeah, that has some possibilities. That 4-4-5-5 is pretty gross, but
you look at it and you think to yourself, this should be an awesome shape, right? This shape should be so damn good. And it always disappoints, I feel.
Oh, it looks like he just made a switch specifically for simples there. Oh, look at that. That's a very good draw. Especially for the simples that Telechum wants to get into.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Everyone has a good hand here, though, so this is going to be a race. I think that everyone is like an Ishanten, and back's about to hit Richi maybe with a Richi only hand, which it can't become Sananko. Waiting on the 4-7. And Groove has 2 of those. Oh, and Telechum taking an aggressive move here. Oh.
To get into Tenpai, yeah. And then wins. It immediately pays off. Uh-oh, it froze.
Oh, yeah,
It's frozen.
I was just looking at Discord for a bit, sorry. Okay. Oh, and look, this is
okay.
I think Kenny probably is going to go for Hoitsu here because he's a little crazy for Hoitsu and Chiitsu hands. And it's also very good for it. So, yep. There we go. He's in very easy Ishanten because he can call it Chi on anything. Oh, and there we go. Putting down the 7 there.
Yeah, I would have tossed I would have tossed the 3.
Yeah.
Because I would have very much liked to draw another 8 to have a 3-sided pair weight. Waiting on the 6, 7, 9 would have been very nice in that situation.
And you got taking this the Champon weight. So this is going to be a nice Mangang worth 12,000 points. And Bax does not deal into it. But he may at any point drop that 8. So and Groove drops it. Oh, that's gonna be.
Yeah, I mean this can be so deceptive because I mean it really could be either a bamboo or a peen half flush there. So
yeah.
that was kind of a tragic.
Yeah.
A very good setup for Ancraft.
Yeah, it was a very
bad setup for everyone else.
Yeah, it was a very well disguised Honitsu, but he didn't have to do any work to disguise it. It just came that way, so just really worked out.
And is immediately chasing Chanta in this hand. Tossed away the 6 so. Tease the 1, 2, 3.
Yep. And also can also just take a Yakuhai only hand, potentially.
Yep, if the green dragon comes out, can ditch the 1-mon for that.
Or
now doesn't even need to do that.
Yeah, can get a Champon weight on the 1-2, which is not bad.
If I were Ancraft there, I would have dropped the 2-mon. To leave alive still the chance for Chanta having the 1/1 2-mon, along with the 8-9 peen and then the 2 green dragons. Because then if you call the green dragon, you can toss your 2 mon, and with the 1 mon as the pair, be waiting on the 7 for Chanta.
I think Groove has
Especially since the 1 and the 2 are
Oh yeah, and Groove, they're just fixing the Dora as his pair there, trying to get a big hand with those. I think efficiency wise, it would have been better to keep the 8, but just assuming that he doesn't want to drop the Dora at any point, so just gonna forget about that idea. And Bax here having that Dora.
admit to holding all of the Dura you possibly can in your hand. Although, go ahead.
I think you cut out for a bit there, so we were kind of I interrupted you without meaning to. Could you repeat what you just said?
I don't know what I was saying.
All right, so what's going into a different Champon weight than we expected. But that only wins off of the green though, off the green dragon. So
correct.
So it's kind of I mean, he's probably just most likely just want to stay in Tenpai or Sumo, like I was just about to say. Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. You're seeing the game like 5 seconds before I am.
Yeah.
So it's like little spoilers for what's about to come.
If I can just delay my own reactions by a few seconds, it's a little difficult to do that.
I don't think there's any reason to do that.
So yeah, that was an unfortunate hand for Groove, who had a chance for like a comeback there. It's still only East 3. But yeah, that pair of Dora could have easily gotten a Mangan or a Hanuman if he'd managed to get to a state of being able to hit Ricci. But Kenny just took a really as fast as possible hand. And Boone up there setting up an Ipeco. Kind of a bad looking hand, I think. Very bad efficiency wise, but if he draws the right things, could get something decent. But that's the case with any hand. And Bax going for Chitoy.
Absolutely. And any time you have
Oh, I think you just cut out there, Ennui. Or I say Ennui.
Yeah, I stopped talking because you cut out and popped right back in. And so I was like, "Oop, I'm gonna sit out for a second here to make sure I don't cut in."
Yeah, I think we may want to work on the audio issues. It's not ideal, I think, the way that we're currently doing it. If we're using my screen,
I don't think so.
if we're using my screen, I can probably use OBS. I haven't used it before, but regardless, we can probably work something out that's better. And let's see. It's getting a little bit late for the Chitoy over there. I doubt that's gonna complete. Oh, and that Ipeco did come.
And drew the 5 so and has a 3-sided weight. Oh, is Furiton.
Oh, that's not good.
Is waiting but since it's a 3-sided weight,
yeah,
you don't really feel all that bad about being Furiton for a 3-sided weight. Little does Boone know that almost all of his winning tiles are in people's hands right now.
Yeah, and it always sucks when you do that, and then if someone immediately puts down your weight, like what happened just there with that 9 ping. But I think it's still going to get some points for exhaustive at least. I think that Is Bax in Tempai? There's one, two. No, I think he threw away. If he was in Tempai, he threw it away. So
Yeah, started hard folding.
I think that Boone may get a few thousand points here, so he may. Yeah, so that's not too bad of a result. And yeah, that Huri Tenrichi, another benefit of that is that it can make people fold. So, uh, yeah, if you want to go to exhaustive and get some points that way, even if you don't win off the Huri Tenrichi, you can still do that. Oh, and I should go behind
Or
you.
if you really want to end seat dealer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, look at this. Triple of Tuso. Yeah, I guess this could turn into a Chinitsu here, potentially. But there's some good shapes in Mon too, so maybe he'll just go for whatever comes. Maybe we'll resist opening. This seems very borderline to me as far as Chinitsu goes.
Yeah, I would not really be considering flush at all with this hand.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because something else to think about is you don't just need
Mm-hmm.
a lot of tiles in one suit. You need a lot of shapes in one suit.
Mm-hmm.
And the shapes in Peen right now
Mm-hmm.
are not easily going to grow into extra shapes. Like everything in
Mm-hmm.
everything Groove has in circles is very kind of self-contained at the moment.
Yeah.
Other than the 9 Peen, which obviously can't turn into much of anything because it's a terminal tile.
Right. I guess the reason that I would consider a Chinitsu, especially before throwing away that 9 ping, or at least for the first few draws, is for one thing, the Dora is 8 ping. That makes a big difference because that means that Chinitsu is 6 Han, as dealer 18,000 points. But the fact that he didn't draw any ping, I think after like the third or fourth draw, I'd be thinking like, no, this isn't happening. But if you draw a couple more ping, it could easily be something that you can like make a couple calls and then suddenly you're in Nishanten. You got a chance to get it 18,000 points. So it would be on my mind even if it doesn't actually happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think those are good things to think about for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
And is now, I believe, just folding.
Yeah.
Now that there are 2 Richis on the table.
Yeah. So yeah, and it's only East 4. Um, basically, like anything can happen in the South round, so no reason to get crazy here. Although it would be really nice to take advantage of this dealership.
And Bax actually has a Tonki weight. I didn't really that did not on the Dura has a pair weight on the Dura. Chase that was the second person to call Ricci. Chase Ricci with a pair weight on the Dura, and this is what happens when you do that.
Yeah, I guess you could justify that if someone is Ricci'd and you Ricci, then there's half of the draws could be the Dora. But yeah, that's a pretty crazy. I think the situation that he was in, East 4, he's like what, like third place at that point. Like he doesn't need to take that kind of risk, but yeah. Some players are a bit more crazy than others. Okay, so this is
a bit more adventurous. Might be a good way to say it.
Yes, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is kind of like having these four pairs in a hand that has good shapes. This is an awkward. If he draws another pair, maybe it goes Chisoi. Otherwise, probably just does whatever. Yeah, drawing that 5, I think, is cementing that this is gonna be like Pinfu.
Yeah, this is going to end up being a normal hand somehow.
Yeah. Although having these, then if this 7 pin had been drawn before this 5 pin, maybe would have had a different feeling. Um,
I mean, now could pretty reasonably open this hand for Tanyao.
right. Yeah, that's a good point. Could open on a pong, and be open to either becoming Toy Toy or Tanyao.
Reach.
But
Or both.
right, yeah, both, yeah. It could be a 3 Han hand as dealer, pretty significant.
Sumo.
And what is Groove waiting on here? Has the 4-5-6 and the 1-2-3.
Reach. 一発. Sumo.
Must be waiting on a 1.
虎に
Yeah, is that like a
羽
that seems like it could be a kind of a weird weight. I'm not sure. Oh, that was a big deal. We're not paying attention to Groove there, but that changed the nature of the game a bit there. And now
Oh,
Bax.
absolutely.
Okay.
As you say, puts Bax in last and puts Groove in second. And Groove is final dealer. And when I know I'm going to be final dealer, sort of a goalpost I will set for myself is I will try and keep myself within 12,000 points of whoever is ahead of me, just because like that is the kind of most points I imagine myself getting as dealer in one hand.
So here's the question: if you had a chance to,
It's a little different in the tournament since you cannot end the game.
I have a minor question. If you had a chance to pwn the 7 so right here, would you take that pwn?
Absolutely.
And then
Without patient.
and that would actually put you in tempai with a Tonki weight. But
With a Tonki weight, but what would be nice about it is there are several ways that weight could improve by drawing a 2, 3, 5, or 6 mon, by drawing a 4, 5, 7, or 8 peen, or by drawing a 4 or 5 so. All of those would greatly increase your weight.
It looks like Kenny
your weight possibility.
Kenny over here is building a full straight, maybe Chinsu as well. Maybe going for a little Baimon hand there if he keeps that closed. Just happens to draw a few very good tiles. And let's see.
It's going to be hard to get rid of that 7-8 shape though, since it contains the Dura.
And I think Telechum is about to is he in Tempai 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Yeah, he's waiting on the 3-6, right? Yes.
Yep, absolutely. And can win because it is Pinfu.
Right. Oh yeah, because it's a south round. So yeah, could just take a really, but didn't reach you on this.
G.
And bits that we talked about.
Oh, hold on. Didn't take that. That was, he passed on Atsumo there, didn't he? That's interesting.
Oh, you're right.
Wants to get what's going on there? How can he get more value? I guess could add a Dora on there. I don't know. Like, that's an odd decision.
Yeah, there's a long path to take. To rearrange this hand.
Maybe
I think seeing dealer have an open pawn of Dura, I think even given the positioning, I still take that sumo there. If for no other reason than acknowledging that dealer has a hand that's going to be worth probably 12,000 points minimum, or I guess 11,600 points minimum.
Oh, now that I'm very confused. It's because it's such a late Richi. Oh. Reverse Ipatsu. Can we call that a reverse Ipatsu? Yeah, that's
when you on your opponent's turn deal into someone else.
yeah. That was pretty bad. Yeah, that's like, oh, why'd not take that sumo? Oh. Yeah, Talichum does not feel good about that.
It might have just been a misclick.
Oh, maybe. Oh boy. Yeah, that's terrible.
Because a trick that not a lot of people are aware of is that if you misclick and miss your sumo, if you go and turn on auto win, it will still declare the win at that point, even if you have already skipped the sumo. So if you misclick on your sumo, you still have a chance to claim your win if you've misclicked by opening up your options on the left side of your screen
Oh.
to enable auto.
I see, I see. So you hit skip, and then you're just staring at your hand, and you hit the R button on the side and wait for the time to run out, basically.
Well, you don't even have to wait for the time to run out. As soon as you click the R button, it will declare the win.
Okay, I see, I see, I see. Oh, oh wow, this is yeah. I was just looking at Bax's hand and thinking that's close, and then Kenny declares Richie. And what's he waiting on? It looks like he's waiting on the 2 there. The 2 so.
Yeah, on a Kanchan waiting on the 2 so.
Yep. So just took that early
and
Richie.
And this is actually a place where I would go into Tempai on the 5 so. But I would not call Richie on it because people will be a lot more careful about the Suji tiles of what you have called Richie on. So Suji traps where you have set the Suji trap up with the tile you called Richie on are a lot less effective than if you set them up beforehand. So something that I will often do in this situation that Ancraft was in is discard the 5 so and then just call Richie on whatever the hell I draw next.
Yeah, I'll do that too. I think depending on what group of people you're playing with, it may be different. There's also to consider it's a big difference between declaring Rishi now and declaring Rishi next turn. I think it's pretty significant. So you may want to do it as early as humanly possible. But yeah, I'll do the same thing. I'll discard the Suji tile, wait around, and then hit Richi in the hopes that it's a better Suji trap. And
now everyone except Bax has pretty quick hands here. Groove can call the double souths since he is in the south seat in this south wind. Boone was dealt basically no terminals or honors, and same with Ancraft, same with Kenny.
And Boone, if he wins on the 4 so, is Sanshoku, close Sanshoku.
The 4-peen.
4-peen. But didn't get it. Yeah, it's harder to win off the 4-peen than the 1, so it's not too surprising. Didn't get the Mangan there for Sanshoku.
And a Japanese terminology note, some fun facts. When your weights give you different values, so like in that case where the 1-peen was just Penfu, but the 4-peen would have also been Sanshoku, mixed triple sequence. The higher valued weight is called the Takame. So the 4-peen in that case would have been the Takame tile, the higher valued winning tile, and the lesser valued weight in this case, the 1-peen, is called the Yasume. Or at least that's how they're spelled. I don't know if that's pronounced correctly, but
yeah, I believe that's correct. Takame and Yasume. And Takai meaning expensive, and Yasui meaning cheap. Those little Japanese lessons.
Oh, I like that. This is a nice little language lesson we've got going on here.
Yep. And Groove having a possible Sanshoku here if he manages to move over this 2-3-4 here. And he has this triple of norths. Missing this 3-4-5-5.
Kind of needs to move over 2 different sequences.
Yeah, with this draw of the 5s. And well, this 3-4, this Dora is a little awkward. But so take a look at Ricci. Drop this 3 and be waiting on the 2-5. What does Talichum have?
リーチ
I think Talichum is a little far away. It's probably still a couple away. I think Groove may just have this. Oh, and Kenny is pushing. Oh, and we got Sumo.
リーチスモドラドラ
Yeah, Khan and or Sanshoku here.
Mangan.
But Groove gets the sumo. Oh, that's huge. The Uradura making that a 12,000 point win puts Groove in first. That's fantastic for Groove.
Oh, yeah. And now he's got to be thinking about how to secure first place. And with his hand, probably thinking, try and get a little bit more of a buffer than just this 6,000 point buffer to try and get that first place. But he's been playing pretty defensive, I feel like, so maybe we'll fold. But look at this. I mean, how do you fold this? I don't know.
ポン
No, he's going for it. For this,
Absolutely.
I think Ennui or Annui is going.
Yeah, I missed everything you said. Yeah, you cut out something major there for a minute.
Yeah, I was just talking about.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yes. Atsuma.
Okay.
スモ
But yeah, I was just basically talking about Groove, whether or not he was going to pursue the hand or fold to just do what's needed to secure first place. And I think with that hand, it was like you'd have to be crazy not to just take those easy points.
Especially now because only a Mangan sumo or better is what is required to take first away from Groove at this point.
Yeah. So and here's something that looks like he could get a toy with Easter, which would be another 12,000 points. At that point, like no one can stop him. So getting a toy here would be basically securing the win and getting good draws for it.
Yeah, although basically everyone at the table has a bunch of triplets here. I mean, Groove has all of these pairs in the ones.
Mm-hmm.
Boone has a bunch of pairs, including a pair of Dura.
Oh yeah.
Bax obviously is already called the triplet Forso and has the Norths in hand.
Mm-hmm. The advantage that Groove has is if he can. It's not an advantage yet, but if he can call those Easts, then it gives the flexibility to win off of anything. And
whereas Bax at this point is completely locked into Toy.
Yeah. Oh, and look at that draw, Vidora.
And if Ancraft can pawn the Chun, can pawn the Red Dragons, Ancraft will be Tenpai as well. Most likely waiting on the 4-7 peen.
Oh, this could be big here. I'm not. So could this reach? Well, we'll see what it reaches. Could this be a Haneman? No. So what's that? Is that going to be third place? Yeah, easily third. but
Yeah,
didn't manage.
definitely enough for third, but not enough to get to second.
Yeah, and if he'd hit Kenny with a Hanemon, maybe would have gotten second place there. But yeah, that wasn't a great result for Talachum, who needed a lot of points. This is a great result for Groove. I think that this may position Groove to get into the semifinals.
Yes, I think that actually puts Groove right at ±0 in the tournament as a whole.
Right.
So
So yeah, situation for Groove is looking good. Situation
basically,
for
any positive result here will be putting Groove in a pretty solid position looking
yeah, I think that for Talachum, like I think that it's looking pretty grim. He needs to get that
for
100,000 point.
semis. Let's see. I'm gonna pull up my spreadsheet and look what everyone else's scores are. Oh, sorry. What did you say? I was muttering to myself.
Oh, I was just saying that the situation for Talachum is looking pretty grim, and at this point, he's going to need that 100,000 point game, and even that, I think, probably is not going to be good enough.
Oh yeah. I think the goal for Talachum is 110 points. 110, 120 points. Just go on a rampage, murder everybody,
Mm.
leave
Get a Yakumo every
leave no
round.
witnesses.
Yeah. If he
Bax, where is Bax placed these two games?
um that's a I think that this last he was like fourth place the last game, right? The first one I don't remember. I think that he didn't place that well, but I don't remember.
Oh shoot, I've got the tournament page up. I can just look. So Bax got a -30 that game and a -13.4 the first game.
Hmm.
That takes Bax out of the semis.
Oh.
So with -43, that takes Baxmet from +29 to -14.
Oh, but so he's got
Um,
him and Groove are both.
so
Mhm.
Bax really needing a good second place or a first to get.
But we could potentially see Groove, Bax, and Kenny all make it to the semifinals, depending on the placement. But I doubt. It looks like Telechim is out, and like if we see the craziest game of all time, then maybe not. But we'll have to see.
The Yeah, so the two most extreme scenarios are Bax comes in first and Groove comes in second,
Mhm.
which would put Kenny, Bax, and Groove more than likely on to semis.
Mhm.
Uh, on the flip side of that, if Groove comes in last and Bax comes in third, then only Kenny out of this group more than likely would end up in the semifinals with the way the points stand now. And those are sort of the two extremes.
Right. So I guess yeah, if we really want to see a bunch of people making it to the semis, we want to see that specific
Because I
placement.
believe
Oh, I think we just had.
yeah, we want as much drama as possible. Really, is what we're looking for.
Yeah, we're into drama. We like drama. So I'm hoping that Talachum goes on a massacre here. That's my personal hope. So we'll see. It's the least likely thing to happen, but
That would be a lot of fun.
I think that would be pretty tragic.
That's true.
That would be tragic for everyone but Talachum, but it would be fun to watch.
If Talachum goes on an absolute rampage but takes every single point from Kenny, they could just swap.
Yeah, that would be the most dramatic thing to happen is if Talachum just takes all of Kenny's points and Kenny is out of the
Like,
finals, out of the semifinals. Oh yeah, we definitely need to fix these sound issues. But this is our first attempt, so we can do better next time. Okay, let's go. Oh, and Talachum's first dealer. let me see here. Oh, Groove got a bunch of Mon tiles. Might go for the full flush.
Immediately draws the 9 Mon
地
to fit in there, which is very nice.
Yep, he's going
Although
straight for it.
it's going to be hard. Yeah, I mean, I think it's a good thing to go for this early in the hand, especially opening it when he has. Although the biggest problem for Groove is going to be that Boone's hand is very fast as well, being able to call the red dragon.
Yeah, and that can be an issue with these flush hands. Is yeah, how do you actually get into tempai in a reasonable weight? Even if you start out with a really great looking Chinitsu hand.
地
And
Oh, if Groove calls pawn on the 2M, might discard the.
Oh.
Oh no, called Chi. Very good. If Groove had called pawn, very well might have dealt into Boone there. Oh, Sumo's the tanky weight. Sumo's the pair.
yep, that was a brutal chun there. Just getting a new hand. And yeah, this may be another fast hand for Talachum here to just get another chance. And well, it could be. I mean, now he can't really get value out of this. I feel like can just get that like a 2-han hand with those easts. 2, 3,
Yeah,
4.
I think racing to the finish, hoping for another chance at a big hand is probably the best way to go here.
Right, and he's gonna get that east from Bax there at some point, probably. Unless he gets really unlucky and Bax draws another one, probably gonna get that, and then can quickly get into tempai with I think he's got a nice oh, drop the 5 there, huh? That's an interesting choice to drop the 5.
That is a very interesting choice.
I wonder if is he actually going for Toy Toy here, or just keeping the possibility open.
I think keeping the possibility for Toy Toy open is most likely what's going on here. I probably would have dropped the pair of Tuso. Personally.
Oh. Definitely looks like a Toy Toy hand here, but it's not. Yep, just taking that 2-han. I wonder, maybe that was the idea? To make it look Toy Toy?
It was very clever if that was the plan. It certainly worked.
Yeah, it worked on me.
Yeah, because the 9 Mon, there was already 2 discarded. So when you're thinking that your opponent has Toy Toy, you feel a lot better about discarding tiles that are not directly safe against them if you can already find 2 of them in the discards, because it's unlikely that they have a pair weight. More than likely with Toy Toy, you're going to run into Shanpan weights rather than pair weights.
Yes, so I think that Talachum is playing 12-dimensional chess here, so people need to watch out about that.
I mean, 4,700 points into this 100,000 point run that we were talking about.
Yeah, it's 4% of the way. Just keep this up to a 10 repeat or 11 repeat. That the record for the tournament is 10. Could still be broken this game. And let's see here. Again, this is just going for an open Tanyao here. If he wins enough hands, eventually he'll get like a dealer Mangan or something. So that's a solid strategy.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Exhaust your opponents. Oop.
Oh.
Do. All right, I paused their game for them.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, I'm glad you're paying attention to that because yeah, I can't really go and look at it. I guess we are gonna get a pause in 5 minutes here. Oh, that four. So Telechum likes to hold on to these safe tiles more than other people do that I've seen. Oh, that's a nice, very nice draw there. Into Tempai, waiting on the 3-6. Oh, and just immediately comes out.
ドン
So yeah, getting an open Tanya
タイ
here.
ヤを
And I believe, what is that? That's the third win in a row. Going for 11 here to break this record. Dora Yakuhai. Let's see. How long does Telechum decide to keep that? And Kenny has one as well. Bax has one as well. If they start tossing them, it'll just one after another will come out. But if someone draws another one first, then we'll see a Pong. It's got a little bit of a interesting dynamic going here. And Bax has a pair of Easts over there, maybe able to put an end to this deal. They're probably all wanting to put an end to this. And they've all got some pretty good hands. I think that Groove over there, Ishan 10, 2 away. Kenny having the pair of Chun. And it looks like Telechum is going for another open Tang Yao. Waiting for the green to drop. And I hear a lot of Discord sounds, I assume. Maybe I should go and take a look.
I'm just waiting on their okay to start again. Kenny is having connection issues.
Okay. Okay, let me bring this back up. Okay. And still the oh, there now it's come out. That was a pretty daring there.
チ
Oh, and a pwn did happen. I was kind of predicting that might happen. They were all holding on to it for so long that that someone was able to pwn. I got that 2-4-6. So waiting on the 3. So and now the 3 so looks safer because of that 6 discard. So I believe Telechum is setting a bit of a. But there we go. End of the dealership. We didn't get the 11 repeat. But Telechum is going to have another dealership. And maybe we'll get it there. Let me go behind Groove here. And he got the 4-4. This is a pretty nice looking hand for maybe a Ricci only. Or could turn these 4s into a pair. And make it a Pinfu. Simple Pinfu, possibly. Telechum's got those Haku over there. Maybe we'll try and keep the hand closed to get more points. Because he's not dealer anymore. He probably wants to get decent amount of points and is very close to being able to Ricci. And get a Hongitsu. So maybe he'll open for the Hongitsu with 3 Han.
3 Han is certainly respectable right now.
Yeah, but I think what Telechum would really like to do is draw into the Hongitsu, Ricci, and get Haneman off of it. Get the 3 Han for a closed Hongitsu, 1 more for white, get the Ricci, and get Patsu Utsumo or something. Because he really needs to start racking up the points.
Bax is doing something that that I do really like to do sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I I am a pretty avid advocate against open cons.
Yep.
I'm well known for my distaste for open cons. But Bax is in a situation here. Did Bax have the fourth Hatsu when he called pawn on the Green Dragons?
I don't. I wasn't watching, so I'm not sure. But
Something that something that can be fun to do sometimes with
Mm.
honor tiles. It's a little bit more risky with middle tiles because somebody could rob your con eventually. But with an honor tile, if you already have a set of 3 and you don't want to call the con yet, but you maybe want points that you could get later and wait until you're in Senpai, you can call the pawn ahead of time and just hold on to the 4th honor tile until you're in Senpai and then call the con. And since it's an honor tile, there's no chance of Chan Con, of robbing a con, of someone rawning your con 4th tile. And you give yourself the chance for a Renshan, for a sumo after a con,
Right.
as well as potentially increasing your Dura.
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. And another thing is with a closed con, if you have a closed con early, you can hold on to it until you get at least closer to Tempai because, for one thing, it just reveals information that you have those tiles in your hand. So that's another sort of another thing to take into mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Closed cons as well. And because like if you feel like you are maybe 1 or 2 steps ahead of everyone else at the table, the problem is once you call a closed con, not only are you revealing information about your hand, but if you flip Dura for someone else, they are much more likely now to push against you.
Right.
And if you aren't Tempai, them pushing might not hurt them as much as you want it to.
Right. Yeah, so I feel like yeah, it's a very sort of risky proposition to do a closed con, but if I would definitely want to have a strong advantage before I do it and feel like, yeah, I'm probably going to win this hand, or at least I'm probably going to Richie soon, in order to feel like it's a good idea.
Yeah, like with Groove's hand here, I probably wouldn't have called the closed con, especially with those the 2-2 mon, because then you can think about your 2-2-4-4-4-4 mon all together, those 6 tiles, as being 2 shapes, namely having a set of 3 4-mon alongside a 2-2-4 shape
Right.
in the character files as well.
So he basically, especially given how early it is, throwing away the pinfu, simple's pinfu possibility that you could use those 4s as your pair and not even though it's a triple, maybe they could be utilized for pinfu.
And we all like a good pinfu here.
Yes.
ポンです
But given that he's the dealer, oh, that 5, it's keeping the Diankan shape here. What do you feel? Do you think that you would throw away something from that Diankan? Well, now obviously you have to.
I once I draw the 3-peen, yes, yes, of course, but I don't think I would before that point. Because it is so easy for those Ryoncon shapes to push you into Furatin.
Right. Yeah, I didn't really consider that. Oh boy, look at that.
And now
Oh boy, that single tile weight is it. We wanted drama. Here's the drama. Single tile weight.
although this is basically an impossible hand to deal into. Because I mean, you just have to know that the character tiles are dangerous here.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to imagine someone discarding that 8 mon.
Yeah, unless we see a Ricci, that makes it possible. But the only person who could Ricci is Kenny anyway. Oh, and there we go. Just this Simple's hand. So yeah, the dealers are being jerks this game, just clutching onto their dealership as much as they can.
And I don't know if you noticed, but Boone actually passed up a Tempai there.
Oh,
Could have discarded the Dura one peen to get into Tempai, but must have deemed the one peen too dangerous to discard.
yeah. I think Talachim seems to be a pretty defensive player in general. Doesn't want to discard Dora if it's that late in the game, probably. Oh, oh, Groove has a very.
We have a lot of quick hands here. I think Bax's call of the 9 mon is really interesting here. That is not a hand that really looks like Toy Toy at this point. Having 4 pairs and needing to call all of them, especially when the things you have paired up are like the 4 peen and the 3-so, that's really not a Toy Toy hand at all. It might, like, you know, that's maybe a silver room Toy Toy, but not a Toy Toy that you're really going to expect to ever win as such in a tournament.
Yeah, I think that looking at that, I would think it's just as likely to become like a Jinchan if he was making discards towards that. Hard to, yeah, he's got, I guess he could draw another pair, draw another triple, I guess.
I mean, can't really go for Junchan at this point. Threw away the 3-peen, which Boone then called.
Yeah. He definitely wasn't doing Junchan discards. Clearly going for Toy Toy. Let's see, what else do we got to talk about here? Oh, it looks like Kenny going for an open San Shoku. Just trying to bring this game to an end. I guess the only danger here for Kenny is if he gets a -100 hand. So he may as well. But the points do matter going into the semifinals, right? It's not just qualification.
Correct. Everyone will take 1/9 of whatever score they have into the semifinals. So what it works out to is you are going to start the semifinals with a score equal to your average score from the 9 previous Hanchans. For a lot of people, the people who are on the lower end of making semifinals, that's going to amount to basically no points. There's going to be several people who have very few positive points and take, a percentage of 1 point into the semifinals. But for people like Kenny, who are way ahead in points, are going to be starting semis with 10, 15 points, which could very well be the difference in advancing to finals and not advancing to the finals later on.
Right. For this particular game, though, Kenny doesn't really have much at stake. Except, I guess, if he gets first place and he wins 40 points, that'll be like 4 extra points, which is significant. But he doesn't really have, compared to the other players, he doesn't really have much to worry about.
It definitely doesn't have as much on the line as Groove and Bax.
Let me see. It looks like Talachim is going for Honitsu again. Maybe a Toy Toy Honitsu? Or hoping for that?
I think throwing away the 3-peen there really does push it a lot more towards Toy Toy. But keeping those isolated offers over the 3-peen.
But he's also suddenly got triple Adora there. So
Ooh.
so really that's
Yeah, you're right. That con really helped
Gee.
him out.
yeah. So now he suddenly he doesn't care about Toy
ポン
Toy anymore because it does not matter compared to those Dora. All that matters is winning the hand. Oh, look! Oh, yeah, and now it started discarding the Dora in row two. Really wants to win this hand. Oh, and drawing the East. That's great. Um, waiting on waiting on 4-7 now. Not the best wait, but so Dianmen wait. So
And Groove is also Tenpai. Groove is Tenpai waiting on the 8 peen. Um, and Craft Kenny is Tenpai waiting on the 2 or 4 so. And then of course Boone
ス
is
モ
Tenpai waiting on 4-7 peen. And
ペ
Bax
ドラ
is the lie. Is Tenpai for Chitoy waiting on the 3 so. So everybody was Tenpai at the end of that hand.
yeah, that's too bad Talichem didn't end up winning that. That would have been significantly getting points
本で
towards
す
the 110k that he needs. Which it could happen. I don't let the dream die.
Has a Yeah, absolutely, and has a wonderful hand for calling here again. Is still in first, and has an incredibly quick hand. If he can draw anything to go along with that Dura 17, that's going to be a pretty nice open hand there.
Oh, I should go behind Bax here. Who's the
本
dealer?
です
Yep, and oh, and again has that Dora doesn't fit in too well though. Going for another Toy Toy.
リーチ
Ah, but yeah, probably just gonna fold now.
ロン
Oh, Ipatsu.
リーチ一発ピン
Yeah, this
Dora
isn't looking good for Bax now, but there's still the rest of the game. Still the South round.
And still have 4 more hands, which is a lot of time for things to change. These scores again are not really like, this is still a very tight game for what Mahjong is.
Yes, Talichem.
Groove an incredibly quick Hanitsu here.
And Talichem has a good hand too, but he needs to win it very quickly, and he needs to keep winning. He needs to get that 11 repeat in order to get the 110k. Oh yeah, Groove's hand looking pretty nice. That yeah, if he can pwn something. And probably will be able to pwn either one of those 3 tiles. But I guess the problem is if you can only pwn one of them, you end up waiting on the other 2. So I'm not sure how fast that if he can upgrade one of those is going to be what needs to happen really.
Yeah, the being able to call Chi on a 4 or 7 so would
Right.
probably be best case scenario for Groove, although it would he very purposefully discarded the 9 so early to kind of set up
リー
a
チ
sort of deceiving looking hand here, and having to call Chi would kind of
般若を
ruin that edifice, but draws the 4 on his own, but it doesn't matter because Kenny's already won the hand.
Yep. And yeah. So at this point, that may be it for Talichem, unless he can start hitting Yakuman. That maybe we may just have to count Talichem out and see if Groove and Bax can manage to make it into the semis by defeating Kenny. Oh, and I should move over here.
Yeah, so So Kenny and Boone, and Krath and Boone both could crush some dreams here if they're able to take some points away from Groove. Groove really needs to protect this first. At the very least, protecting the 38K to, even if someone passes him, have a good second.
Right. Oh, and nice draw there on the 3. It looks like Bax has a solid hand, but a lot of pairs. I wonder if Bax is going to go for Toy Toy or Chi Toy, given he seems to have a bit of a predilection for going Toy Toy.
I mean, Bax has just been dealt a ton of pairs this Hanchan. Has been Tenpai for Chitoy a couple of times, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Telechem's hand. He's got Ipeko and 789. I think that he's in a nice Ishan 10. Well, it's an Ishan 10 depending on some Kanchan blocks. So hopefully can upgrade that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely needs a little bit of help there to make those shapes a little nicer.
And now it's looking a lot better. I think that
地
oh, and hold on. Going for
リーチ
what is Groove doing here?
Just trying to get Tenpai, maintain dealership.
Oh yeah, this is the third row, isn't it? I'm kind of losing track of the time. Yeah, so that makes sense. And what's going on here? Deciding whether or not to throw away this 5-mon into the...
リーチです
I feel like the 4-mon is the throw here. Would be Tenpai.
Oh, but 5 is Tenpai too. It's on waiting on the... it's a Shampoo wait.
Yeah, I was suggesting the 4 just because the 4 was totally safe against the Ricci.
Oh, I see. And it's 5, 6, 7, 7. Oh, right. I have so much trouble seeing the seeing them from the side. Oh,
ごめん
They are
このファイル
very
うちが
hard to
もらい
read
ま
sideways.
す
okay. And that helps a
Oof.
little bit. I think Bax is gonna need more than that. He needs to get like second place, right? Or does he just not? How much? What is Bax's situation again?
Bax needs a good second place or a first at this point.
Okay, so it's kind of the same as Groove then.
Yes, they are in very similar situations. I think Groove is in a slightly better situation than Bax is, but
Okay.
only by a few points.
Okay, and yeah, got a possible Sanshoku here, especially with that 4, 5, 6. Very not too likely. It could happen. And again, Bax having some pairs and opened on the south there. I feel like he needs more points than that. But it's not.
He
nothing.
is last dealer though, so even just shortening the gap at this point would be beneficial for Bax, I think.
Sure. But yeah, that seemed like a very fast. Well, I guess he could just get a Yakuhai only hand here, or he could get a 3-han hand. And it looks like,
します
yeah, it looks like he's waiting on the 6-9. Oh, but then the 6 is it conned, close con.
Oh,
Oh, there we go.
ごめん
that's always the
このファイル
worst
は
when
う
the
ちがもらいま
moment you enter Tenpai, someone close cons it. Oh, but got the 9.
Yep. So yeah, it looks like Bax has a chance here. If Bax hits someone other than Groove, both of them might make it into the semifinals. And let me move behind Bax here. And we've
Yeah,
got
you're going robot real bad right now, so I didn't hear any of what you just said.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yes, now you are coming through clearly.
Okay, yeah. I was just saying, if Bax hits anyone other than Groove here, gets some points, it seems likely both of them will go to the semifinals. So this is pretty important couple of rounds here. Oh, and Artie and Tempai waiting on the 3-mon. And yeah, it's kind of a non-round here.
Now, is
Oh,
anybody else even close?
well, Kenny just has a bunch of dragons over there.
リーチにゃ
Oh, Champon. Oh, that's just pairs waiting on the 6 ping. That's an interesting decision.
ごめんこのパイはうちがもらいます
That Ricci is probably to get this game over with, to try and get people to fold.
Yeah,
Didn't
that
work.
makes sense. I think it's still worth delaying for a turn or two, maybe at least, because the 6 is such a bad weight, and there's a good
Yeah,
chance you can.
I would have waited.
And let's see here. And yeah, now so Bax is in 3rd place, so he needs to get some more points here. He needs to get some more points, and then he needs to end the game somehow. So it's kind of it's a bit of a rough situation. He needs to get points and then manage to end the game without losing points. Not just trying to get as many points as possible. But looks good.
That is one of the things that makes the rule set for the tournament kind of difficult, is that since the only way the game can end is if someone other than the dealer wins, or the dealer ends in an exhaustive draw, not Tempai, it makes it hard for you to kind of exit in all last without losing something.
Right. And Bax here has a kind of a bad Hurricane situation going on, but likely can draw into that and just did. So that situation. So waiting on the Dora is not ideal. And if I were Bax, I think I would probably drop the Dora at this point, because really need to gain to win.
Yeah, I think it's a tough situation. I feel like I would hold on to the Dura for a little bit, if for no other reason than just Groove has already dropped one of the Dura.
Yeah.
And I think that makes it, just slightly more likely to come out of other people's
リー
hands.
チです
But would change up the weight at the first opportunity.
Yeah. And Talisham here, it doesn't really matter what he does, so he has no hopes of
ご
yeah.
めんなさいね
But you still want to play your best
Yeah.
Mahjong all the time. And this is an incredible weight for Talchum. I mean, it Patsumo'd on the Sanshoku.
羽マン
Right. And I wonder so it looks like Bax is out. I don't know about Groove.
Yeah, that is going to hurt Groove some. That Groove is going to get 10 points from this game, so I'm gonna have to go in and enter everything in to see how everything actually stands. I think Groove will be in contention. I am not sure how safe Groove's score will be with that +10 there.
So yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I guess I'll just end this stream now. And next time we'll try and get better, fix these sound issues. But it's just a little experiment to see what we can do on Twitch. So thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah, and thanks for hosting, Bill.
You're welcome. Okay, I just ended the stream. It looks like we have 9 viewers.